The name of my bedroom? Oh, this is looking optimistic. So, good morning from my hotel in Castellane, in the south of France. In a different t-shirt today. I decided I'd wash the other one, as I'm going to be going to see some friends, and I didn't want to offend them. And anyway, we had thunder and lightning last night, and it was too humid for it to dry, so the bike is going to look interesting this morning. So today I'm going to be going west through the Luberon, actually initially through the Gorges du Verdon, which is the French Grand Canyon. I suspect it may have been called the Grand Canyon before the Grand Canyon was even named. And then, as I say, possibly going up to the Montagne de Lure, which my friend Jean-Denis has recommended I go and see. And then across the Luberon, finishing in Murs tonight, which is near Gorges in the Luberon. Going to be another warm one, I think. So ready to go again. The underwear is here. The socks are hanging. Another pair of socks this side. On the t-shirt. Hopefully all will be dry before long. Right, well, a bit of a later start than I would have ideally wanted. 9:15. Anyway, because the breakfast wasn't till 8 o'clock, which I don't like. Bit of off-roading here, don't really like that. But I'm going to have to get used to it because Jean-Denis has got a terrible road to encounter. Right, well that was a nice hotel really, very friendly. We're not even in the gorge yet, but some pretty spectacular scenery. There are rocks falling down in the road here, you probably saw one back there. Oh, well, I think my clothing is drying. Just been listening to the radio saying that GPs are now going to be able to prescribe weight loss injections that I'm having to pay for. Now you know what a fat man I am. Let's still don't qualify by their thing, so I should have to carry on paying. Look at this. And actually, they've built all this, but there's not even any potholes. Bloody hell. This is unbelievable. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. That was silly. Wow. Bloody hell. So this is the first of a number of viewpoints on the Gorges du Verdon. I don't like leaning out here really, look at this. Unbelievable. Wow, look at this. I'm not sure there's anything quite like this in the Grand Canyon in USA. How far down that water is. Certainly need the helmet on if I was going to do a bit of hang gliding. Shall I? People seem to be thinking, what do we have here? With socks and underwear and t-shirts. Still, with the price of fuel about to hit the roof, this is the best way of getting stuff dry. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It seemed quite right me creeping through the bushes here, but you never know what you're going to find, do you? I think this is the bridge people jump off. My God, look at that down there. Bit of a shame it's a bit hazy, but in the distance you can see the bridge, and they do bungee jumping and the like down over there. If I'd gone along the southern edge, I would have been down there by that building. So looking through the haze, that's the road that goes along the southern edge. I was encouraged to take that road, but to be honest, I've only got so much time. And that's the bungee jumping bridge over there. I don't think these tyres are going to be brilliant on off-road situations. So I've only done 23 miles today and it's nearly 11 o'clock. This is quite a spot. Some people may say this is not a big deal, coming down here on a little bike like this all the way from the Cotswolds. I know people do it on mopeds, scooters, bicycles, all that stuff. Nevertheless, even with all the hassle I've had, I think it's done very well, or the bike's done very well. And I have to say it's all thanks to the Yamaha dealer in Nancy. Yamaha New Bike, as they're called. If it wasn't for them, I'd be at home. Okay, I have an announcement to make. An announcement that I've been dreading making since I discovered the problem after I got home. I'm actually only watching some of my footage now as I edit it, but I have a big problem, and that is my microphone broke completely, and I had no idea. So for the remainder of the trip, if I had the microphone plugged in, you don't hear a thing. If it wasn't plugged in, you can hear the engine sound from the camera itself. Obviously, when I'm walking around with the iPhone, you can hear that. But I'm now in a situation where I'm wondering how the hell I'm going to edit the rest of this series. Got a few options. One of them, obviously, is a voiceover, which I will do. I could just put it to music, but I know that's not popular, particularly in mid-Wiltshire. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. And or I can dub motorcycle noise onto the silent videos, which I am going to at least try. So all I can say is this has not been a successful trip. Hopefully you've been entertained so far with what you've seen, but I am probably not going to publish another video on Sunday, because I'm going to try and straighten out some editing to see if I can actually fool you that the camera hasn't broken at all. And as we are this week, it's the 28th or something, I think, tomorrow, or I think it is, of July. I am going to focus on sorting my sound out once and for all. So I appreciate your forbearance. And, oh, God, if I was relying on this for a living, I'd be bankrupt. Anyway, we'll leave it there. You know what the situation is, and I'm doing my best. Another stunning view. This is the lake that the gorges drain into. Again, I'm assuming it's a lake and not a reservoir, but it still could be a reservoir for all I know. I simply can't believe how the topography has changed in the last 10 miles or so from the gorge to this. Loving these lavender fields. Oh my God, the first car I've overtaken, except for a tractor, on the whole trip so far. I know I'm repeating myself, but I just can't get over this sudden change of scenery. So I rocked up in this little town, Oraison, and saw this guy on a Ducati, and him and his wife were out to have lunch there, so I thought, well, I'll go in the same place. Then he told me we were not allowed to park where we were parking, so we moved our bikes, sat down, and they said, can we join you? Would you, in the shade? So I said yes, of course. So anyway, we started chatting, and I talked about my YouTube and gave him my address, my YouTube address, and he said, the lady said, my name is the same as yours. She said, I am Patricia Petite. So I just suddenly found I was having lunch with my cousin. Then they insisted on paying. What a lovely couple. We had a good old laugh about a few things, and the entente cordiale, and then they went on, and I went my own way as well. Very windy up here. I'm at the top of the Montagne de Lure, as recommended by Jean Denis, who said I must come up and have a look. It's certainly, I'll show you a panorama in a minute. So I'm at 5,750 feet. Nice and clear up here, but bit of a shame you can't see much down there. Very hazy. Just putting up a stone in memory of my mum and dad. There you are. Your old pair, you. I going to be able to eat all this? So I've got to my hotel only to find out that the restaurant is closed on Monday nights, and the nearest place is just down the road, Messi, 4 kilometers down the road. So I've driven down, and my daughter's contacted me to say my wife has left her phone at her house. We no longer have a landline, so I've had to get involved in that by ringing the Ring doorbell. So, given that lamb is so bloody expensive, I've got a damn good helping here. They must have felt sorry for me. The prologue. Now, who was it used to say that? Anyway, I'll try and do this in one take. Basically, I'm in a little town called Murs, or village called Murs, where I'm staying the night. And I thought, oh, that looks a nice place. The restaurant looks nice. Closed on Monday. So I arrived here all hot and sweaty, having done about 160 miles from Castellane through the Gorges du Verdon, up the Montagne de Lure and across Provence. And I sort of peeled my jeans off, and I've had to go out again to the bloody restaurant. So when I got to the restaurant for the second night in a row, the present Mrs. Little called to say, my daughter called to say the present Mrs. Little had left her phone at her house, and I had to try and sort out how she can get it back. Yesterday, Beverly called me to say the TV wasn't working. Well, that was a problem, wasn't it, for me? Anyway, I'm in a very nice hotel, nice surroundings where I'm delivering my little report. There she is. Yeah, it's bloody hot down here, to be honest, but I had a nice run today, really. The Gorge du Verdon, they call it the French Grand Canyon, is spectacular, and I'm sure it was probably called the Grand Canyon here before it was named in France, before it was named in America. And then my friend Jean-Denis, who I'm going to see tomorrow for a few days, he said, oh, you need to go up to the Montagne de Lure. Well, it's quite a climb up there, and about 5,000 feet, I think. No, 3,000 feet, a bit more. Anyway, I went up there. Beautiful up there, actually, but couldn't see much below because of the haze. Tomorrow, I'm off to my friend Jean-Denis' house for, I think, probably 3 nights. I might see if I can get the oil changed on the bike tomorrow. Although, to be honest, it's already cost me a bloody fortune, and I don't really want Mrs. Little to know about it, but I think I should probably have it changed because it's done some hard work. Then on Friday, I shall basically start to meander my way back. I'll probably be back on Tuesday. That's the plan. But I don't think Mrs. Little would have appreciated me getting back on Tuesday and going out on the Whizzers run on Wednesday. As it is, I've got to go somewhere on Thursday. So anyway, that's my update. Sorry it's a bit wordy. Lots of you have asked how things are going, and I really appreciate it. And this gives a more adequate response. I'm doing, well, today I've done, as I say, 160 odd miles. But I've been doing anything between 160 and 300, over 300. But I'm not going to be doing any more over 300s. Anyway, we'll see. Bye for now, guys. And thanks for your interest. I really appreciate it. the name of my bedroom. Oh, this is looking optimistic.